Salut tout le monde, it's your boy Adero. Lukael, welcome back to Disco Elysium. That's right, it's me again, and this is episode 22. And I'm getting confused with these episode numbers and like what happened in the last episode because like I'm recording these and then like I have to edit them, but then I'm also posting them like weeks later on the channel and then like a week early on the Patreon, and I have to write the descriptions, and I get really confused about like which episode I'm at, what I did last time. So I think in the last episode we kind of resolved the side quest for the church. I think we got the ravers to move in. We helped Suna study the pale phenomenon that's happening inside, and it also had, I think, my favorite moment of the playthrough so far, where against all odds and with a very low percentage roll, we somehow burst into this frantic dance and even got Kim to join in. So probably my favorite moment in the playthrough so far. So yeah, we've stretched this night as long as can go. I think now I'm finally out of things to do. So it's probably going to be time to sleep, and then we're going to move on to day 5. So as always, thank you so much for joining me, and without any further ado, let's jump right back in. All right, here we are at the church. Now let me just double check real quick. I think we've done everything that can be done for tonight, so I guess I'm gonna go to sleep. And then Kim will leave, and then maybe we can use this time to, oh wow, even the washerwoman is gone now. Huh. I didn't know she ever actually went to sleep. Even the guys are gone. Well, well, well. I wonder where she lives. I guess she lives... Well, she rents a room here, so I guess she lives in the back or like below, or... I'm sure she told me before. Look, I'm trying to remember as much of this game as I can, so don't be mad if sometimes I forget some smaller details. Alright, well, I'm going to sleep, Kim. You coming?
It's getting late and it's snowing. Time to call it a day.
It is snowing. Good night, Kim.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
He just vanished out of here. Enter the shack. So here all we can do is sleep, but... what if I go out now that I'm alone and we have a little talk with, hello, I forgot your name.
Waves are beginning to die
Vivienne.
down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down.
Ugh.
Simmer down, bastards.
Alright, so it's still only 8%. I don't think I have any clothes for suggestion. Actually, I only have the coat. I don't think that's gonna be enough.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little
70%.
bastards.
Also,
Simmer down. Simmer down, bastards.
she needs to go on a date with another drunk. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to asking her out on a date, you know, just to get to know each other, maybe, sure. I need to move on after all. My wife is with someone else now. But I don't want to go on a drunk date because, again, I'm trying to be sober. So if that's our only option, we're not going to do that. Also, so I got a lot of comments saying that I shouldn't take off the necktie. And so if you're a long-time viewer on the channel, you know I don't really like backseating, gameplay advice, but a lot of people did say I should put on the necktie. But I like my bow knot. Friendship ended with horrific necktie. Bow knot is my new best friend. But apparently it's linked to like a quest. So... where is that piece of shit? So just because a bunch of you asked, I guess I'll keep the necktie for now. Even though I don't like it. It's related to this somehow. The horrific necktie is getting ready for the end game. Do not remove it till the magic happens, and then bind the spirits. So something about the necktie and the spirits? I don't know. I guess I'll keep it on for now. So don't say I never did nothing for you.
It's getting late and it's getting late.
Alright, let's get in there. Was there anything else I wanted to do without Kim? Not really, right? We could still shave, but again, I don't think that would be a good idea.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it.
We could stop doing the expression, but like, is there a point to not doing the expression? What's wrong with having a nice little smile? I like that I'm smiling to people. So far, the expression doesn't seem to have affected anything gameplay-wise. Like, really, people should be like, ugh, why are you looking at me like that? But no one has said that, so I'm fine with the expression. Let's go to bed and finally
The bed
bring
is
this day to an
comforting,
end.
if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
And I'm about to hear a bunch of nonsense from my lizard brain, aren't I? Alright, let's
The
just
bed
do it.
underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow distant to your ear. In the quiet hum of the organic heater, you fall asleep.
And it's gonna be a nice sleep, right? Uninterrupted? Oh?
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
Great. This is gonna be really chill. Dark Shore my ass, I know what this is. You know, I hate these sections because I've also been having really bad sleep lately. And so this just reminds me of that, and I don't like that. Yeah, just let me sleep.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately?
Sure.
Saved anyone lately?
Not quite.
Murdered anyone lately?
No, I have not.
This bastard isn't even listening to you.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people and then forgets about it.
I don't care, that doesn't scare me. Okay, so I'm a murderer and that's bad. Shut up, I just want to sleep.
Hear that? Iceman wants to sleep. He doesn't care about killing people. That's nothing to him. Blackwater, under the bridge. The thing he's really scared of.
So we have killed 3 people in the past, apparently, allegedly. But Kim did mention that it's a very low number compared to most people in our precinct, so I would like to believe that Harry only did it in like dire circumstances where he really had no choice, like he did it maybe in self-defense or because like someone was in danger. We don't really know about his past, so who knows, but not something I can do anything about anyways.
It's much, much worse than that.
Why are you doing this? I just want to sleep. I can almost see the dark.
We're trying to help you.
Oh?
All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions, flares and countermeasures to keep you from the last dream. The worst of them all.
Also, the voice acting in this game is really great, this one included, but I am pretty impatient, and these characters speak very, very slowly. And like, I don't want to skip ahead over dialogue, so I'm just sitting here like waiting for this very slow dialogue to be over. That's just me. The last dream?
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
Again with the fucking apricots and her. Like, Harry, you're gonna have to move on at some point. Like, this separation from my wife or whatever it is has really been affecting me for a while now. And like, you need to move on, man. Like, you've made a new friend here in Kim. Like, this investigation with Kim, we've gone through enough wacky shit where I feel confident we can say we're kind of friends now. Like, it's gone past just being colleagues, because we've done a lot of like funny things. We've danced together, we've sung karaoke together. So you've made a new friend. You've lost your memory, which is bad, but also kind of good because now you get to start kind of fresh. So you should embrace that, man. Her face forms in summertime. I don't want to anymore. I don't want to think either of those things.
Oh, but you will. You're already going there. Slipping. How long can we keep you from the precipice? One more dream? 2 max, baby. Then it's
Her face forms in summertime?
in hell. An ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the video rental.
Everything is
I'm sorry,
so okay.
It's just taking way too long, man. Like, just get to the point, please. I can't wait. I can't wait. Doesn't sound like it will be okay.
Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you. You're back. In 2 seconds, the alarm will ring.
I didn't know I had an alarm.
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church.
Again, what's the deal with the fucking Dolores Day shit? What does that have to do with my wife? I don't get it. Was I married to Dolores Day? Like, what's the connection between Dora and Dolores? Dolores died 300 years ago. So, is it just because she reminds me of her? Because, like, I guess they look alike, maybe? Alright, I've got my giant Kvalsund pry bar. I've got my bag. I'm ready for a brand new day. It is 7:30 on day 5. Good morning, Kim.
Yes?
That's it? Alright, this is gonna be our first time going around town in the daytime, so I will do another pass. I'm gonna do a second pass of the coast and the areas we visited previously, because I'm guessing there's gonna be new characters. The Sunday Friend is supposed to be somewhere around here. Also, I'm just gonna take a look around. Oh. Someone up there with a child. Who is this? Necessity.
And Lukael noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Heilostam. You must be Kim Kituragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
How do you know Kim?
Nice to meet you.
Hold on, hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
He says as if it's self-evident.
He's just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything.
Wait, what was that about the windows before?
Oh yes, so Lukael. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
They had monitors 49 years ago? Really? You and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Lukael, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed coloring book.
Lukael's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately.
Worms.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
Or a politician.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Lukael before, this is where the Coalition landed in 08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why?
So he's like part of the Force?
Well, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
A programming language. Okay. I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen anyone suspicious around?
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Lukael here.
He pats his son's head.
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
There's something friendly and familiar in how he says that. A day off.
What's so fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes, springtime sun warming his handsome face. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
I mean, how can you not know it's like right there on the wall?
Hold on. What's R&D?
What's an R&D department?
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore.
He smiles brightly, laugh lines around his eyes. He sure got some laugh lines.
You're probably more familiar with RTD, Research and Technological Development.
Mea culpa. You are not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead.
Look at the building looming over you.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
I don't think I've ever heard of this Feld Electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
Yeah, just this suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era.
This is really interesting.
Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What was that, Ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer. An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. Yeah, looks like someone who likes to listen to the sound of their own voice.
He assumes something like a combat stance, facing the wind.
What happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
Look at this little kid there. He's painted in such like a hazy style. It's almost like he's disappearing because he's trying to be discreet. So like even the art style is kind of like shy. This is brilliant. The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
He pauses, pointing to the other building.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
I can't say I'm too interested in this, but we do go through all the dialogue, so... You're saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk?
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
Yeah, it's still on the map.
A pleasure wheel?
The lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon, as if picturing gondolas rising to the sky.
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer there were a big wheel, lighting up the coast.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
What happened to the engineers, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Lukael here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
He smiles again as if he's somehow personally responsible for this bleak turn of events.
Wait, is he saying that we should just bypass the excesses of the revolution?
He means they all died at the hands of the communists. I mean, it's your kid. You can teach him however you want. It's not my business. Tape computers, right.
Tape computers.
Wind tussling his suit jacket. What did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases, the most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
He says while his son looks up, idly chewing on the corner of his Wurm-themed coloring book. What was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
We finished Searchlight Division.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans le Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree.
There's a lot of attempts at French in this game, some more successful than others. I would give this one a solid 4 out of 10. Bon baiser d'insulinde.
I tried to get Lukael to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
He looks at his son who starts giggling, his face hidden behind the book.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
How did those tape computers work? Did they work like radio computers?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He raises his finger, remembering something.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty-Dompty Center in Vredevoort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ackerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Juice joined the team. Trying to...
Oh, you're just gonna go on and on and on about this shit, aren't you? The Wompty-Dompty Center? What the fuck is that?
Wait, did he just say Wompty-Dompty Center? He did it. He said Wompty-Dompty Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world. What the hell is a Wompty-Dompty Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Juiced?
Okay, the Wompty-Dompty Center, Paul Ackerman, Keith and Guy Juice, what are you talking about?
The Wompty-Dompty Center for Contemporary Arts.
Oh.
The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ackerman, chose to...
You're making this up. Kim, is he making this up?
In fact, I'm not. The
Wompty-Dompty
Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredevoort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
You know how some people just have like a voice or a cadence that makes you just kind of trail off when they start talking? That's this guy for me.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Cool. I've seen cooler things than that. The RCM should get some of those.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The felt playback experiment vanished into the fires of 07.
The failed playback experiment.
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the felt playback experience, but those are incorrect.
Why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
He takes a step back. The boardwalk creaks mournfully in the wind. Want to ask something else?
But of course. What else?
Oh god, you're about to take my whole day, aren't you? You look like someone who has money. Do you have money?
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
He brushes it off like it's not a thing at all.
He's not gonna give you money. What are you doing? Clearly you were just profiling. No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing, he can give you some.
I mean, So was it on the first day that we asked Joyce for money? We had just woken up. We were still kind of like hazed from this memory loss, so it felt okay to ask Joyce for some money. Now we're like on day 5. We're doing pretty well. Like we've got a better look going. We're sober now. We do have some money already. So it would feel a little bit weird to keep asking people for money, but then again, it's free money. But I don't think he's going to give me any. Could I have some of that unimportant money then? I don't want your money. I just wanted to see whether my profiling skills were working. Could I have a tip?
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms.
He looks uncomfortable, his left hand squeezing his son's shoulder. Can't imagine why.
I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be wise to carry huge amounts of cash on such expeditions.
You're right.
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out?
By the way, do you work out?
I do some Lomantang stick fighting now and then.
Lo Mantang stick fighting is a form of martial arts originating from the island of Lo Mantang. It uses slender wooden sticks for confronting the opponent.
I'm not really interested in the practice. I just want to know how often you work out, now and then. That's what, like once a week? A form of martial arts from the Isle of Lo Mantang, right?
Actually, a great many cultures have their own version of stick fighting, such as the sacred Mabolo tradition of the Harley people, a name deriving from the butterfruit tree traditionally used for crafting.
Alright, that's
Goes off
enough.
as he paints you a comprehensive picture of the history of stick fighting among mankind, seasoning it with unexpected pop culture references.
I love how I had the exact same reaction as my character, who's just like, alright, just... That's enough fucking exposition.
Man, he's good at speaking. People must love him.
But anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying?
A little bit. I don't really remember what I was saying.
Then I guess everything got said, right?
He squints his eyes in the sun. Alright, thank you for all the interesting information.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Lukael here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
It wasn't even a conversation, you just talked the whole time.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever.
Whatever indeed.
Searchlight Division.
Oh, God.
You've sharpened your senses by being on the lookout for missing persons. Now you notice more of what's happening around you. Perhaps
Nice.
when you're done with this case, you can join the Searchlight Division of the RCM
Maybe.
and find every Revacholian that's ever gone missing without a trace. There is undoubtedly a backlog of such cases, because you never know. A missing person could be just around the edge, barely out of sight.
Maybe I'll do that. +2 perception. Clear-eyed pursuit of truth. Alright, that's a pretty nice bonus. Even more perception. So much perception. Alright, well that was kind of a waste of time. We did gain a thought from talking to him though. The Wompty-Dompty Dump Center. It's Wednesday evening and something heinously exciting is underway. People have gathered beneath the billowing roof of an oddly shaped trophy building, sipping wine and exchanging opinions. 29-year-old Wunder twins Guy and Keith Joost are the stars of the show with their bomber jackets and white sneakers, head curators of this art exhibition. It's the Wompty-Dump-Dummiest event of the year, and all the cool kids have RSVP'd. Where are you if you are not there? Alright, well I don't really care about that one, but alright. Remind me to give you a collection of essays on modern architecture, Lukael. This kid's gonna grow up to be fucking insufferable, isn't he? He takes after his father. I mean, he's not that bad. I'm being harsh on him. So, nothing here. Is this the one that, like... Is this the ruby wall?
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Oh, +1 know about failed electrical. I guess we did. +1 know about the revolution. Okay, so I guess maybe it was a good thing that we talked to him. I have a few visual calculus closed, so let's try that again. Visual calculus.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from a row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound. No movement. 10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner, automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. The morning sun rises beyond the horizon, radiating the first light of the day. The order was carried out at dawn.
This is some very cool artwork here.
A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains.
Fusillade is a word in French, but I didn't know you could say fusillading in English. What is this?
The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed.
Kim, who was who in this execution?
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution.
At first, the lieutenant doesn't say a word, he just stares at the wall.
Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces.
Remember what Trent Heidelstein said about Veld?
What if it was the Feld personnel when their assets were being seized by the revolutionaries?
Another likely scenario.
Or maybe...
What about people from the coalition, the so-called moralists?
Yeah. It's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior giving the orders.
Look at the people against the wall.
A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations.
Really?
As demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background.
I can't imagine just lining up a bunch of people and then being like, well, let's end all of these people's lives, like, in as efficient a manner as we can. Can you imagine being the person holding this gun? It's like...
Ordinary people, familiar, each and every one of them.
Who were they?
Collateral damage on the path toward normalcy and progress. Such is your belief, officer. Maybe you should change it. They were praying, screaming.
Look at the line of soldiers.
7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one? Men of duty, dark duty.
Who were they?
In all truth, violence offers no answer. It's only the last available resort when all mediation fails. And here, all did fail.
Look at the person standing on the side.
The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air. The lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
Goodbye.
A cold sea wind blows away the figures. Behind this building, the other one, once filled with engineers and designers of Feld Electric, now collapsed and dead, but for some rats. You feel drawn, for some reason, to the faded mural again.
Alright, so we keep getting these kind of vague hints that there's something going on with this other building, so I feel like maybe Ruby really is in that other building, or at least some hints about her location. I have to assume maybe she's like off on the other island, right? Because we need a boat to get to the other place, so maybe that's where she is. Or maybe she is in this building, not sure. We have another breakthrough.
Fairweather T500. Remember that weakness you were looking for in the ceramic armor? Like, maybe it can only stop small, fast projectiles, but a large, slow-moving pry bar would shatter it. Or, if I run an electrical current through it, maybe it will melt. Or, personal favorite, frequency something something radio weapon. None of that would work.
Oh.
You need to shoot the part of the enemy that doesn't have Fairweather T-500 on it, because the armor itself is invulnerable.
Really?
Good news is, so are the armor pieces on you.
Invulnerable? They made that thing to last. So you can't shatter it with like a hammer or like... If you run an electrical current, it might not destroy the armor, but it will kill the person wearing it, I have to assume. +2 hand-eye coordination against enemies in FT500 armor. So we are going to fight people in armor? That's very worrying. I guess I'm glad I have that equipped, but enemies, plural, in armor? Is the whole fucking kernel... is it kernel or Crenel? Crenel? Is the whole fucking Crenel, like, mercenary group gonna come down here to fight us? I don't know. So because the other building might lead us to Ruby, I'm gonna keep that stuff for last. Just in case. Let's go where the body was, see if there's anything new there. Nope, nothing new. Should I try calling in? Because we don't know her precise location, Dora. Wait, no, did it say which Isola she was on? But I have to assume that no matter when you call her, she always says it's the middle of the night because like we don't really know the distance, right? So probably even if I called her in the morning, it would have still said that it's the middle of the night for her and she's about to go to work. But I don't know. Alright, let's walk along the coast, see if we can meet anyone. Still can't open that.
An old door, worn by elements.
A red check of interfacing. There's that bird again. Just a stationary, unmoving bird. We have 2 bubbles. This relay tower coordinates boat traffic in the bay, barely.
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower. In the distance, you can hear the breakers roar.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freitor. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. In the whirling in rags.
Yeah, it's so far away. Maybe the campfire was used by the perpetrator. Maybe the assailant climbed the comms tower, took the shot there. What about the cigarette butts? Maybe the campfire was used?
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps. But anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year. Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out... Beatable Prime, was it?
Do you remembered what I named it? Damn. Maybe the assailant climbed the comms tower, took the shot there?
It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from.
What about the... I don't think any of these things. I'm just expanding all the dialogue to hear what he has to say. What about the cigarette butts?
A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Johan? Cigarette butts are everywhere. This is a common brand for all men.
I mean, you do get some XP from doing all this dialogue, so...
Still, you felt it was important enough to make a mental note. That means something. You didn't pay attention to any of the other cigarette butts on the coast.
Look over the water to the whirling in rags.
There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, blue from the distance and the air. You see the smallest rectangle, barely visible.
Because, remember, the person took the shot and killed the guy in one shot through a window while he was close to someone else and got a headshot, so...
A glowing light on the 3rd floor of the whirling in rags. With binoculars, you would see a young woman's shape move behind the glass. her limbs long and slender.
Alright, calm down. Finish thought. So the shot did not come from here. Not that I really thought it did. But I guess we, now we know for sure. Gotta be thorough. I haven't seen the Sunday friend. He's supposed to be taking a walk along the coast, but we haven't seen him. Wonder where the guy that was standing here originally is now. I guess he's just gone. Alright, well, let's get to the tasks that we had back in Martinez proper. Oh, the two soldiers are... I was gonna say they're gone, but he's just sitting on the bench now.
Officer, care to play a game with the lonely old man?
Where's your friend?
Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same.
Where is René?
The prick is gone. I
What?
can barely believe it. But he's really gone.
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow over his wrinkled face.
What do you mean gone? What happened?
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute cunt.
A cunt? Wow. Gaston sighs and mumbles more to himself than you. How did he die?
His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning.
Really?
Wasn't even supposed to be working for another week, but he just had to prove how tough he is. Guess he was about to head home, 'cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian clothes and not the Coquette uniform I saw him in all the time.
It's a little suspicious.
Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him, 'cause he's gonna be buried without it.
Was he really that bad?
I repeat, an absolute cunt. Even his old army buddies didn't want him around. He was like an old viper.
Well, wasn't he your friend, though?
The only people who could stand to be around him were Jenny and me. She saw something in him when we were just kids, and she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world can love him, then there must be something worth holding on to.
Did you love him?
We've hated each other our entire lives. So much, in fact, that...
He falls silent and looks at you, eyes filling up with tears.
Yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what his last words to me were?
He wipes his eyes with a sleeve. Something mean? That he's sorry? Some right-wing royalist slogan? Something forgettable like see you tomorrow, probably? Tell me.
In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me.
What the fuck?
He lived a cunt, and he died a cunt. Let's leave it at that.
He kinda was. The old man gathers himself and wipes his eyes again. Do you know what happened to his medals?
I took them for myself. Took them to remember that old cunt. Nobody knew him better than I did. And I want to remember that old cunt by something.
He looks at you for a moment and speaks quietly.
Strange how old cunt sounds almost gentle when he says it now.
Oh, we should give him the photograph here. Something to remember your friend by.
Let me see. This was 60 years ago. We all went to that parade. Young René looked so happy, and Jenny...
Eyes blur with tears, he has to stop.
I'm sorry, officer. I just... Thank you. Thank you for this little memorabilia. It really means the world to me.
That was nice. A small thing for us, but invaluable to him. He probably didn't even know René had the photo.
Kim, don't review my actions. It's like, that was nice, that was nice. You're not playing the game, Kim, I am. I'm supposed to say, that was nice. Old people die, you better get ready to... So mean! Sincere condolences. Oh my god, I can't believe you can say that. Jesus.
Yes, We are both very sorry for your loss.
It is what it is. Part of life, really. But to know someone for 79 years, then one day they're just gone.
That's pretty crazy.
I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you must need something.
Yeah, I need your sandwich. Bye for now. Can we ask for the sandwich now? Do you still hold on to it?
Sorry, officer. What do you want?
Host Almighty. He's a total bummer now.
Oh, you can't ask him about the sandwich anymore.
Yes? What about...
Yes,
It is... I just don't know.
Alright. Wow, he actually died. That's crazy. Was not expecting that. But like, was it foul play? They found him in his boot and he didn't have the same clothes? Did something else happen maybe? I wonder. Alright, let's call the radio.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
And let's call the library again.
I'm afraid they're closed. It says here that the library is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
10, right?
we should try again.
Anything else, detective?
Did you find more about the owner of the armored boots?
Yes. It took some convincing, but I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details. Are you ready?
For sure.
The lieutenant leans in to listen, notebook in hand.
I was born ready, baby. The world will end soon. I was born ready.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Kortenaer. That's E-L-L-I-S K-O-R-T-E-N-A-I-R. Exact date of birth, unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February 09.
Neonatal care unit?
He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2.
Survived apparently.
According to Klasia, Lele said his real name wasn't really his. Perhaps that's because he was fostered.
Ellis Kortenaer.
This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the Eastbrand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the Seminole conflict. Then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol.
Interesting. Well, he was found in a leaf compactor?
It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes.
Yeah, I know.
It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files. So I thought it would be good for you to know.
I guess. I mean, he's dead now, so it doesn't really matter, but sure.
It is. Thank you, Alice.
Is it? Alright. Any information on his foster parents?
None, officer. Sorry.
So all we have to connect him to Crenel is the armor.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Alice. Great work.
And shouts? That wasn't really a shout.
No problem, Lieutenant.
She sounds pleased. Yeah, I could hear that smile there, Alice.
A compliment from Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Not bad.
Not bad. I'm jealous. I mean, I've gotten a few compliments by now, right? Well, we have his name and service record now.
The name. This is very good. Ellis Kortenaer.
He says to himself.
This means something to him. To know that name. Like name in a case. It's important.
I mean, yeah, when you've gone searching in the man's skull with your bare hands, I feel like it's nice to at least know his name, you know?
Sometimes police work is about human dignity. About giving back names to anonymous victims.
Sure.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions?
That's all for now, Alice. Thank you.
57's over and out.
Love
In
you.
the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio.
Maybe when this is all over, Alice, you and me can go on a date. Maybe? Maybe. No, I'm gonna have to tell the woman, right? Okay, she's not there. Thankfully. We could go and buy... Oh, I want to buy the game! I want to buy the game!
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes.
So that's 37 real if I want to buy both. I mean, that's a lot of money. But then again, I do have money now, so I guess we could spend it on that. I don't know if it does anything. Probably not. I don't know. Maybe if I talk to Suna again, it might open up some new dialogue. But that's about it. Could have maybe helped some rolls with Suna, but it's a bit late for that. I'm just kind of curious to see what it does.
If you say so, but you better stay away from those immoral occult rituals.
You know what? Give me the suzerainty game too.
Wonderful choice, sir. A wholesome family game.
You would say that. All right. Bye. All right, let's see about these games. Suzerainty, a civilization building board game where you get to choose a nation and set off to colonialize and exploit other cultures. A star-shaped note on the box proclaims the game now includes a completely new genocide option. All right.
In your hands, you hold a brand new copy of the game, Suzerainty. It's snugly wrapped in a skin of plastic.
Hey.
The cover features a charming illustration depicting a mass of grinning laborers loading goods onto a ship, while a richly dressed administrator oversees their work. The exact location and time period are left deliberately vague, but it's clearly meant to represent the economic relationship between the Revacholian suzerainty and its many vassals.
Shake the box.
The box has a nice heft to it. You hear the rattle of individual wooden tokens and feel their weight shifting back and forth. What treasures wait in store for you? Even before you open it, you can tell that this will be a meaty game of grand strategy and complex player interactions.
I mean, should I open it now though? Maybe if I leave the plastic rack, I can like gift it to someone? Let's leave it perfect and undisturbed for now, and if later in the game it hasn't like had any use, then I will open it.
Good thinking. It could be a collectible someday.
And then what about this one? A high-pastoral fantastique populaire board game, illustrated with bucolic vistas and featuring odd-looking humanoid creatures. It's the 3rd edition Mega Settings Supplements module and can be played without the main game. Well, shit.
Large letters on the front form a title, Wompty-Dompty. The colorful box is illustrated with bucolic vistas. The cover art also features odd-looking humanoids, some short, some taller, some with pointy ears, others with ephemeral wings.
Examine the box. We do have a dice if we want to play it.
Text underneath the title in smaller typeface reads, 3rd edition, Mega Setting Supplements module. The side panel adds, a sword and sorcery adventure board game with new maps and miniatures.
Shake the box.
Mysterious things rattle inside. What could they be? Dice? Plastic miniatures? A fantastical alternate world full of magic and wonder?
I sure hope me shaking these boxes didn't break what's inside.
None of that witless man from Heimdall, fascist dross, hidden behind faux realistic allegory. Wompty-Dompty is no cliché-ridden apologia for colonial violence. Wompty-Dompty is pure imagination. It's not. It's for pansies. The man from Heimdall is way more awesome.
Look at the back.
A blurb on the back reads, tired of the tedium and toil of modern life?
Yes.
Escape to Wompty-Dompty. Leave behind Isolas and nations with their petty squabbles. Discard electricity, magnets, and boring technological widgets. Succumb to a world of high pastoral fantastique. Unleash your imagination and create an adventure of endless possibilities. Discover the terrible secret threatening Wompty-Dompty. Can your band of adventurers save the world?
Yes, we're ready to take on this challenge. By we, is that me and Kim? Are we gonna play this game together? I'm not sure I can handle all this responsibility. Definitely not. Sounds too dangerous. Nah, yeah, we're ready.
Exactly. That's the spirit. All you have to do is read an intricate rulebook, study an assortment of maps, unfold the illustrated game board, and start rolling dice.
Yeah, that's all you need to do.
In no time, you could be romping through grasslands with low-level characters, hunted by Iskala riders, or battling unspeakable monsters in endless dungeons fraught with danger and despair, conjuring up forceful magics to aid your quest.
Open the box.
You pry open the box. Inside you find a folded up map, a small booklet, a 24-sided die, and a little plastic figurine.
Look at the map.
A reprint of a crude hand-drawn map. The top left corner reads, Lands of Wiral. The map features both small villages and mid-sized towns with odd names, in addition to meadows, forests, hills, lakes and seas, also with odd names. It doesn't seem to correspond with anything you've seen thus far. It's not a very helpful map.
Look at the booklet.
A quick guide to the magical races of Wiral. Create your own hero, choosing from any of these completely unique and fantastical backgrounds.
What is this magical spelling?
The options are in order of importance. The Welkin, the Tweog, the humans, the fairy folk, and the pygmies.
Read about the Welkin.
The Welkin, tall, lithe, and graceful, with long flowing hair and pointy ears.
So they're
known
elves.
for being powerful magic users, but can also hold their own in a brawn-driven fight. The Welkin come with a variety of exciting sub-races. High Welkin, Forest Welkin, Lake Welkin, and Snow Welkin. But if you're not feeling experimental, a basic Welkin will always do.
I probably should have done this like later at night when I'm alone. I have a lot of time to waste. Now that I know that time doesn't go past 2 a.m., like I should do all this reading shit late at night. This is time I should be using on more important stuff, but anyways. Let's put it away for
You
now.
stuff it back inside the box.
I'm going
A
to close
colourful
it for
box
now.
with the title, Wiral.
I'll be inspecting that a bit later tonight if I can. Although I'm curious to see if you can take the figurine or the die. Maybe they're useful. So we did pay a lot of money for this, so...
Large letters on the... You pry open the... It's made from some sort of wood and has been decorated with peculiar plant motifs. You don't know much about dice, but this one looks pretty damn fancy.
Take the die.
You place the die into your pocket. It's always good to have luck on your side.
Because this might help me with some of my rolls. What about the figurine?
You see a man in ragged clothes wearing a lopsided hat and wielding some sort of a firearm.
A firearm?
Interesting. A communard.
That doesn't sound very reward-like.
It is not. The communards are not a part of the game setting. I guess someone misplaced it during the packaging process.
Oh, does this mean we can't play?
I have a feeling the figurines are more there to set the scene than anything else.
That's true. Take the figurine.
You pick the figurine up by the base to meet your gaze. The little plastic man stares back at you, his face contorted into a disturbing shout. Then you pocket it.
Right, I'll take a closer look at the booklet when we have more time. For now, I'm just going to look at the items. So we got a new die. This basic 24-sided role-playing die can be used to get results for several dice. It's made of East Simony snakewood and embellished with plant motifs. It reminds you of plain and hill welkins. Note, look at the map tab in the journal to see which white checks have opened. So it does help with some rolls, good. And then what a nice little figurine, a turn-of-the-century leftist revolutionary in ragged clothes. On his head lies a lopsided hat, seemingly Anushanka. In his hand he carries a little musket. Okay, maybe we can offer that to the mural in the church. What now? We could go talk to Lena and her husband. Right, we need to tell them about the traps. You guys are still here. We got a new person here. Oh, no, it's, right, it's Gary. Hey, Lena.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
Just doing my job, ma'am. It was a truly epic long-distance trek. It was just on my way while I was working the case. I'm basically also a cryptozoologist now. Just doing my job. I mean, it's not really my job to go and find people. It was on my way.
Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Meskin origin. The pin is an antique, quite special.
But I won't get to wear it, because people want me to wear the fucking necktie. She hands you a thin ribbon held together by a silver bird skull. It's a tie.
You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
You never told me you've seen the phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
No, of course I do.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But, darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Oh, so I'm your friend now, huh? Like when we first met, you really weren't that happy to see me, but now we're friends?
Reflexively, the lieutenant readies his familiar notebook.
Just to get himself busy, because he's like, "Ugh, I don't want to hear about this stuff. I'm just going to read back my notes."
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Wait, where was this and how old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
My grandmother also lives in a place that sounds very much like this.
She'd just started forming memories. Real memories. Not the billowy haze of infanthood.
What happened?
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it.
She had no fear, just surprise.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
There's a big difference between 20 seconds and a minute, but alright. Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
And that's how you guys met.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
I mean, so it could just be a reed still.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
Wow. He looks at her with admiration, forgetting a wide smile on his face. That's beautiful, very romantic. You were on a date?
Our first, yes.
The old woman looks at her husband tenderly. Its limbs are white?
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
The camouflage ends. This guy's got such a specific way of talking. How big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
Maybe you imagined it? This seems a little... I don't think they're going to take it well if I say that. What do you think of this, Kim?
I thought it was a wonderful story, ma'am.
He closes his notes and gives her a simple smile. That's like the nicest way he can say it didn't happen.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
and she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own, into the mud, anywhere.
Alright, that's all for now, ma'am. We get a new breakthrough.
Hardcore aesthetic.
Hardcore!
Oh yes, drugs. We're talking about drugs. Let's face it, these flirtations with the hardcore aesthetic have all been leading up to one question. Can I do drugs harder now that I'm a hard cop? And the answer is yes. You can. You can do one more blast of pyrrolidon and yellow shit powder. You can even pull a ciggy and a lager on top of that. There, you've truly made the hardcore your own thing now.
Well, that's disappointing. +1 endurance, really useful for doing drugs. +1 volition, same thing, hard man. Okay, well, at least the bonus is not specifically about taking drugs. These are more like just general bonuses, so I guess that's fine, but I don't like that I have a thought that tells me I'm sober, and then another thought that just tells me I'm good at taking drugs. Check the island and the boardwalk. I feel like we did check the boardwalk. Did we not? Alright, well, about the traps.
I couldn't possibly shower thanks on you as enthusiastically as my wife has, but I am grateful for your assistance, officer.
I do love how it's very small, very minor, but he acknowledges that you talked to her first. And this dialogue is unique in that way.
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
Like, anyways, what about the traps? So I checked all the traps.
Good. Okay. And?
One of them was empty.
Completely empty?
Yes, there was nothing in the trap. No locusts, no phasmid.
No locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal, but...
He's like, I can work with that. I can make up my own mind based on this very inconclusive evidence.
It just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
Is that what it means?
She's engaging in a well-known self-deception called motivated reasoning. You should correct them.
Of course, more clever.
I think that's the most, like, contempt and disgust that I've heard in Kim's voice. He was like, of course.
You're dealing with a subject near and dear to their hearts. It might behove you to tread lightly.
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped.
You can't just say
This
that.
is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps, make them more secure.
It could be anything, though.
Another trip to the reeds.
His companion size. Yes, that's exactly what it is. What a deaf hunter, this phasmid. It's not very scientific to reason backward from a conclusion you want to be true. It's true. I don't know, I'm not persuaded. Are you sure you've exhausted all the alternative explanations? It's kind of true.
I appreciate your concern, officer, but please leave this to the experts. Unless you have an alternative hypothesis you'd like to venture.
It could be hundreds of things.
You're jabbing at the soft underbelly of his psyche. He realizes he's gotten defensive.
Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too. My gratitude, and the gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Ravachol, is yours.
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened?
He was about to get in an argument and he's like, no, this guy helped me. I am just gonna bury it deep inside.
Some kind of foul play might be afoot. Theft?
Theft of locusts?
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but...
I'm so amused by Kim's just utter contempt for this fucking cryptozoology shit. He's just like, yes, very nice, thank you. He's just putting on his nicest, bravest, most polite face, and then he's like, let's get the fuck out of here. Can't stand this.
Helping cryptozoologists isn't really a priority for our organization, is it? The lieutenant looks out the window, impatiently.
Insulted morale? What, because I said it's not very scientific? +1, something up with the trap. +2, Kuno's a hooligan. Oh, Kuno. Considered alternatives. Well, that's pretty high. Let's try it.
Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken. Most likely the hands of a young person. Hands small enough to fit inside the trap, too. You should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno.
I think a little hooligan called Kuno may have stolen the locusts.
A little hooligan? But what would a child want with bugs?
Oh, plenty of things, I'm sure.
Oh, my dear Morel. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment old folks.
A shadow of worry passes over the woman's face. She's like, don't you remember being a kid? I'll talk to the little gremlin and see if anything comes up.
Delinquents. My favorite.
Kim's having like the worst day of his life. Doesn't sound like it's really his favorite.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please, let us know whatever you turn up. I have a feeling we're getting so close.
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
He's like, all right, I'm tired of this cryptozoology shit. Like, you guys are my friends, but I'm really not into this stuff, so I'll just see you guys at my place.
After this is your last chance to talk to Gary.
Okay.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but...
The woman's voice is a little shaky suddenly.
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it, even if it's bugs.
He looks at his tea.
Morel, it's been fun, really, but I need a bath and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done, I gotta run.
No need to apologise, Gary. You've been more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of suzerainty today, though. We're gonna follow this through.
I'm sorry, what is this accent? It's so specific. Like, is it from a specific country or like a region or like, what is this accent? Because I feel like I've heard it before, but I can't put my finger on what exactly it is. It's so specific.
The first man to break formation is always a blow to leadership. This is bigger than he lets on.
More than here for. Alright, so this is our last chance to talk to Gary. Not that he has anything else to say, probably.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. I mean, officers.
Alright, I don't think we had anything else to say to him anyways.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
Oh god, you can just say, by the way, we speak Revacholian in Revachol. Get your Revacholian nationhood on. No, I don't want to say that. Oh god. It's because of that vigilante shit, right?
Hi again, gendarme.
Composure is still... You know what?
Bye-bye, gendarme.
I think I might put a point in composure. I want to get that roll. Let's put another point in composure. I really want to get that roll. Do I have any clothes for composure? Like, look, I know what he is. I just want a game to tell me. Oh, look at this. 8-eyed Terratorn tie. Oh, yeah, it's like an old school kind of like oilman, like cowboy tie. +1 Inland Empire Octopole Vision. +1 Volition Cryptids Protection. A slender bolo tie held together by an antique clasp in the shape of a bird's skull. The skull features 8 cavities for eyes. It's disturbing, but you can't look away. That's pretty cool. It's not composure, though.
Hi again, gendarme.
It's only 58%.
Could he be a member of the homosexual underground?
You're just gonna call it that?
Just pointing it out. We're not talking about some kind of cult with members here. You made it up.
Are you part of the homosexual? I'm not bringing it up. Let it go. That's my only option. I can't like be a little more subtle about this. I mean, how do you bring that up to someone? I guess. Oh, God, that's so weird. Okay.
The homosexual underground?
The smoker sits up immediately, his eyes wide with amused surprise. A honeyed smile lingers on his lips.
Why, yes, I am, officer. Why? Do you want to investigate?
Yes, I want to hear more about this homosexual underground you're part of.
Oh, it's a pleasure group. A Sub Rosa pleasure group congregating in cellars under the cover of night. Saturday night. Sometimes even Friday night.
What about Thursday night?
Or Thursday night. Sometimes the congregating doesn't even end. It carries on into our daily life.
He lowers his voice conspiratorially and looks around. Let's just not talk about this anymore. But why do you convene? What do you do? Aw, Harry.
When two gay men have sex, how do they know whose penis will open up to accept the other person's penis?
Harry.
Oh, we're ambitious. We want to destroy the last vestiges of meaning, the last things people in Rebishol have to hold on to, the true symbols of security. The meaning of man and woman, mother and father, their marriage. Everything will be constantly shifting and moving under our rule. The future will belong to a circus of identities just spinning around, surreal and unreal. You won't even know who you are anymore.
Does it have anything to do with disco?
Yes, we listen to a lot of disco. Some say we engineered disco to spread our vision of a vertiginous, ever-changing society, where all there is a razzle-dazzle of gold.
Am I maybe a homosexual then?
We are going to change the family unit with all this razzmatazz and finger dancing. And with mysteries. Of course, the mysteries are also of sexual nature. Very esoteric.
That much fun should be illegal. No, this is not me. I do like disco. Maybe I should get into it?
You can't just get into it. You have to be born into it. One is either already in the homosexual movement or forever excluded from it.
What if I can't remember whether I'm in or not? What if I can't remember anything about my life, aside from the fact that I like disco?
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's exactly what we're looking for. Who knows, maybe you were homosexual in the past. Maybe all of that has been repressed.
It's so weird just to hear that because, like, we never say that anymore, right? We never call people homosexual. It's always gay. It's like, oh, this guy's gay. These people are gay. It's like, it's so rare to just hear that now. The smoker crawls up to you like an animal preparing to jump. He circles his hands around you. Uh-oh.
I have to say that you do look like someone who might be part of the underground. You have that very distinctive, I can't understand what's going on here look.
Okay, I have to think about it.
Do think about it, officer.
He starts laughing and leans back against the counter. This is gonna be like a 20-hour mind project for me at least.
Absolutely wonderful.
Oh, okay, so we got the thought. Absolutely.
A man like you can figure out his sexuality in a working day. It won't be 20 hours unless you want to enter the heightened realms of the phantasme erotique afterwards. It may be 20 hours or more, but that would be on your own time.
Kim,
Bye-bye, gendarme.
Anything to say? No? We don't know anything about Kim. Maybe Kim is gay as well. Like, we don't know anything about his family life or like his private life. There it is, homosexual. Oh, oof. Not sure I'm a fan of this picture though. This picture with this name? I don't know. Only 8 hour. Hey. You see mysterious strangers in the night, leaning against unlit doorways, engaged in hushed conversation, a shadowy cabal exchanging looks, whispering in dark alleys and unmarked locales, a radical cell conspiring against the state, and perhaps even against man and woman. Was that a secret handshake? What's going on? Who are these secretive people? How will they accomplish their sinister and world-altering goals? And most importantly, are you one of them? You could be. Maybe you forgot. Okay. I'm really getting to a point now though where like I don't really want to forget any of the hardcore aesthetic is about drugs, which I don't like, but you do get +1 endurance and +1 volition, which is pretty nice. 4. And then volition's already pretty high. I don't really like having a drug related thought here. I could just forget it for this one. I can't lie, I am pretty curious. So we're going to forget this one. Forget thought for 1 point. Thought will be lost forever. They do warn you. Okay. You ever gonna have anything to say, dude? You're just gonna keep sitting here. It's all about money, you know. Okay. Oh, and it's raining now. Well, it's almost time to call the library. Is the woman there? She's not there. She might have moved to a different location, or maybe she's only there from a certain time. Glazie's still up there. She didn't run. I thought maybe she was gonna run, but she's still there, so... Kuno likes brain shit. The inking shit. Let's talk to Kuno about the bugs.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Fuck does Kuno care? You wouldn't happen to know anything about any missing locusts?
No, Kuno doesn't give a fuck about bugs.
So he knows locusts are bugs.
Oh my god, I told you that shit is lame!
Shut up, see.
The little one seems distraught.
Now they're gonna take you to lame prison!
She sounds like she's about to cry, out of disappointment at Kuno's newfound lameness.
What's this about?
Deny everything, Kuno. You need to lawyer up.
Kuno's not gonna say anything without his lawyer present.
There's definitely something going on here. Remember his pig's head shack?
Uh-oh.
You should check it out.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Uh-oh, did you steal the locust, Kuno? Am I gonna find some locusts in there? It's crawling with locusts in here.
All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud, dotted with little holes for windows.
Was it like this before?
Like skyscrapers, spires of dirt and sand rising. Accommodations for their insectoid inhabitants.
Well, detective, it appears you've solved the case.
Lieutenant looks around, writes something in his notebook, and turns to you.
Of the locusts. For the missing locust case, which is a subcase of the imaginary insect case. So at least that's going well.
Stop being so sarcastic. You can just tell him that. Just call him out on it. Yes, precisely what I was thinking. Alright, stop being so sarcastic, Kim.
Oh, I'm not being sarcastic at all. We are making real progress here.
When someone says they're not being sarcastic, it's usually a good sign that they're being very sarcastic.
You think the Insulindian phasmid is nearby?
If anything, the presence of the locust points to the opposite. The phasmid did not take the bait from the traps. It was Kuno. The phasmid doesn't exist. But what do I know?
Alright, we should talk to him about it.
I'll let you handle the Kuno side of things. You are doing just fine.
I think I am. Me and Kuno are in a pretty good place.
Fuck does Kuno care?
I know you took the locust from the traps.
Yeah. Kuno took the bugs. So what?
So it wasn't the phasmid. A wave of disappointment washes over you.
I was really hoping it would be the reed phasmid that ate the locusts, not you, Kuno. You say you don't give a fuck about bugs, then you go and build a whole bug town. Why steal locusts? Couldn't you find some other pets? No, I'm glad he doesn't have any pets. This kid should not have pets. Yeah, you build a whole bug town.
It's not Bugtown. It's the city of locusts.
Oh.
Locusts aren't just bug shit. They come out of the sky like a fucking shadow. Shit descends.
He says, enunciating every syllable.
Stop!
She's like, oh, this is so lame. I killed a guy. She wails from behind the fence.
You stop. It's like their fucking night. Locust City, Night City, City of Rage.
There's a tug of war over the name of his fantastical city. It's almost too big for his imagination. The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort.
City of Rage sounds like a cool place. What are you, some kind of artiste now? Whatever, kids. Yeah, no, let's indulge him. City of Rage sounds like a cool place.
Kuno, the pig wants to help you. Oh, that's how lame it is. Please just don't say you're...
An artist? Maybe I am an artist. You hear that, everyone? I'm a fucking artist now.
Did he just say I? Kuno usually calls Kuno Kuno.
Oh, he's making progress. He's becoming more of himself. He's like finally coming into his own as an individual. He's dropping the pretense and just being a real little kid. Did I hear you right? You said I. Now, if I say that, he's gonna pull it back. Making art is a worthy calling. I'm something of an artist myself. No, he's not gonna like that. You should listen to your friend Kuno. Art's lame as hell. I don't like any of these. I feel like if I call him out on it, he's just gonna revert back into his shell.
Kuno made Kuno. Kuno says whatever the fuck he wants. There are no rules here, pig. I fucking say I when I wanna, and Kuno when I wanna. Kuno's free. Kuno's free to fucking die, bitch.
This is what he sometimes does when things get tense.
Making art is a worthy calling. I'm something of an artist myself.
Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you totally lame in, like, 3 seconds! Don't let him, Kuno!
It's so satisfying to hear this utter pain in her voice.
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free.
He tears at the buttons of his shirt, trying to rip them open. They don't give way.
Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Kuno can make himself into a Kuno doesn't give a shit.
There you go, Kuno. Now you're on the right path.
Don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno! You'll have to take me away!
A leaden silence fills the yard.
In it, you hear snow melting, dripping from the eaves. Someone closing a window. So that's what this is about.
That depends on the choices you make, young girl. Me and Kuno have discussed this. I promised I won't do that. Say nothing. I'm just gonna say nothing.
Without a word, she disappears entirely behind the fence. For once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face. Use this momentary confusion to take control of the situation.
I don't think I've been in control this whole time.
You got him. Now convince him to leave the cryptozoologist's traps alone.
Why? I mean, I'd rather he's doing that than doing drugs. Says I, the person who gave him drugs. I need you to stop taking locusts from the traps. The cryptozoologists are trying to find something very important. Those locusts are bait. I have to ask, what does the city of locusts mean?
It don't mean anything. It's shit. Kuno just likes to focus. Kuno likes to concentrate on shit. Build shit when he's zipping hard. Fuck.
He turns his face up to the heavens.
Pig, you really shouldn't have fucked with Kuno City. Now it's all fucking lame.
Aw. He says, finally lowering his gaze to meet yours. I mean, I don't really care about their fucking phasmid. I care more about this child finally, like, making something of himself. What's going to happen to the locusts?
Kuno's gonna let the fucking locusts die.
That's my only option.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. C was right.
The girl's face appears again, above the fence, just long enough to make eye contact with Kuno.
Could this have gone any other way? It sounded like maybe we had an opportunity to do something, but then it sounds like this is the only outcome. Alright.
The fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps?
The Insulindian phasmid. None of your business. He mutters to himself.
He recognizes the name.
You know what that is?
Bitches think Kuno doesn't know shit. The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
As you leave, you notice his usual rooster-like swaying posture has changed. Slowed down, like clockwork unwinding.
Are we turning Kuno into a cryptozoologist?
There's silence between the two children. They're not saying anything to each other, nor looking in each other's direction.
Ooh, we've created a rift between them. This might be a good thing, actually. Interesting. Well, it's now late enough to call the library. So let's do that. Jamrock Public Library, please.
Hold on, officer. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to the librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Always going a step beyond, Alice. You're so nice.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
He sounds worried, yet ready to assist. This is how people get when the police call.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I'm looking for any information that you can provide on Billy Méjean, a reader.
Billy Méjean, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
It's nice to be investigating like a death that isn't a murder where everyone fucking hates you. It's kind of refreshing.
On Moreau Drive in central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him, a lonely reader scours some dusty bookshelves, looking for a paperback.
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Méjean's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
Yes, home address is fine.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe.
Oh,
Cape
shit.
Side Apartments, it
He
says.
lives in that building.
That's all.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same building. Is it the same apartment, though? Do you have any other information on Billy Méjean?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day.
Do you know someone who was?
Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Méjean? They returned a Thibault book the other day.
It's a much better Thibault, thank you.
Maurice, what? A woman yells. Then, yes, okay, if it was the police, she starts explaining something.
Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
Oh, so Billy Méjean might be the woman. Wait, don't we know the name of the working class woman, or did she ever give us her name? I can't remember now. Wasn't it like Aunt something? So maybe Billy Méjean is the woman, and then yeah, her husband came with the card, so it's not actually. Oh. So Billy Méjean is a woman, not a man. How did your colleague know that it was her husband?
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
And then goes for a little drink later, on the lookout.
Oh, do you know the husband's name?
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight.
Can Marie describe to me what the husband looked like?
Marie!
Just get her on the phone, dude.
She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him.
What was he wearing?
1 second.
Just get her on the phone.
Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that.
Alright, thank you. That's all from me. I have no other questions.
Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
The librarian hangs up and the call gets redirected back to the station with a soft click.
Anything else you need from me?
That's all for now, Alice. Thank you.
57th, over and out.
Love you. Alright, well. So now we know where they live. Must be one of the apartments where the door was closed. But yeah, it's the same building. Interesting. Well, I guess... Oh no, we're gonna have to give her the news. I mean, I guess someone has to do it, right? We took on this case, so now we have to... We have to deliver the news. It's gonna suck. Well, someone's gotta do it. Uh-oh. It's the wall again.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
God, when is this thing ever gonna get... Wait, I have some conceptualization clothes, right? I must have more now. I get 2 more with this
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
You have a keen aesthetic sensibility, plus 2 of Cindy's artistic impulses are infectious.
Yeah. Why? It's a wall.
Why must we stop to look at this wall every time we pass?
Someday, Kim, someday I'll tell you. But today's not that day. One of these days I'll tell you about it. I'm sure it'll be worth it. Alright, so apartment 20, he said. So, on the second floor then. Oh, is it here?
A weathered brown door. The number reads 20.
Oh boy.
Something smells good. Soup à l'oignon.
Soup à l'oignon, yes?
The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock.
This is not gonna be fun.
This is the door. You already know it's the right door. This is going to be so hard. Get yourself together. It's just police work.
Don't knock! Just leave! You don't need this! You don't need to sad it up!
Hold on, Kim. We should discuss this before we move on. What should we expect?
You're right. Let's talk this through.
He looks at the apartment door and lowers his voice a bit.
You hear some light footsteps and what appears to be a daily weather forecast playing on the radio.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Méjean. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification to Billy herself. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job.
Okay.
This is why it's usually done in pairs.
Good.
You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary.
Why do I have to do it? Why can't you do it, Kim? I feel like you'd be better at this than me. Do you have any advice on how to tell her he's...
Dead? Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
Good advice.
What if I don't want to do this?
Yes, it's hard. But there is no easy way to handle this information. It just has to happen, as soon as possible.
Alright, I think I'm ready.
The lieutenant motions towards the door.
Is there any, like, skill that would help me in this? Like composure? I guess empathy? Well, my empathy is already pretty high. Alright, let's knock.
Hello? Who is it?
A voice calls out from the other side of the door.
And someone turns down the radio.
Look at the lieutenant first.
He gives you a short, encouraging nod.
Is this Billy Méjean's home? This is the police. Please open the door.
The police? A moment, please give us a moment.
You hear shuffling inside.
Tidying up. Nervously.
What do you mean, give us a moment?
There's fear in her voice.
Come in, the door is open.
Oh. Oh. I thought she was gonna come outside. Oh no. An empty pack of red Astra cigarettes hidden under the bed. The same brand of cigarettes you found in the trash next to the deceased. Hello, detective. A chalk-drawn height chart for children's growth over the years. Oh no. They have children too. Forgive me for just like looking around before I talk to you. Packages of humanitarian aid macaronis. Windows covered in old newspaper clippings. Oh, they have a kid. Oh no. A textbook for high school mathematics, trigonometry mostly. The clock is ticking away with an odd cheerfulness. Its ticking makes you anxious, rings hollow in the room. Posters of contemporary pop stars adorn the walls. Where's the kid though? Well, there's no 20 ways about this.
It's you from the bookstand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back?
She smiles nervously before the smile vanishes from her face.
I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Tea? Lemonade? We're out of coffee.
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. You're on your own here.
Well, he's here for support, I guess.
He must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead?
Thanks, but I'm alright.
Is this about Victor, my husband?
Victor.
Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up in the station if that's what.
She stops her eyes, trying to read answers from your face.
Keep it together. You don't want your body language to tell her the news.
Sorry, I'm rambling. It's just that Victor often gets into all kinds of trouble. So, how can I help you?
She shakes her head and tries to laugh it off.
How about some small talk before you break the news?
I don't think small talk would help in this case. Ooh, empathy very high. +4, Kim is here. +1, identified the leather jacket, identified the library card, kept your composure. When was that? Discuss things through with Kim. +1, lieutenant's handkerchief. Oh, yeah, we do have that. You live here with Victor, your husband, right?
It's me, Victor, and the kids here. We have 2 daughters, Jenny and Jolie.
How old are your daughters? I feel like this is gonna lower my role because I'm gonna know about his family now. How old are your daughters?
Jolie is 16 and Jenny is turning 18 next month.
Oh, okay, so they're pretty old by now. They're like teenagers. Where is everybody? I don't see anyone home.
The girls are staying at their friend's place tonight. And Victor is out.
She swallows visibly.
He still hasn't come home?
No.
She stops.
Why? Do you have any news?
This is so much talking before we actually deliver the news. To your knowledge, did he make it to the library?
No. I guess I'll find out when he decides to come back home.
She looks at the front door.
It shouldn't be long from now. He's never gone for more than a few days.
What was the name of the library?
Oh, it's in Jamrock. The one at Mayro Street. I don't know the official name.
Central Jamrock Public Library?
I think, yes, if that's the one on Mayro.
Remind me again, what was he wearing when you last saw him?
His old leather jacket.
Can you describe it?
It's just your average brown leather jacket, but
brown?
He bought it as a teenager, so...
Ooh, so not blue.
It reminded him of his teenage years.
What about the inner lining?
Yes. The lining is hand-sewn. It's blue. I tried to make the thing more weatherproof since he's running around with it in the middle of winter.
What was he supposed to do in the library?
Just to return a book of mine. Why? Why all those questions, Detective? Did he...
Do something? Break something? It's a fool's hope.
I mean, I guess I'm trying to confirm that it's really the same guy. What was the name of the book?
I think it was, Thibaut's The Glinting Curve. It was pretty good.
There's something else I have to tell you.
She folds her hands across her chest. Here it comes.
Alright, let's just do it.
You've done this before. Just keep your focus.
God, do I just say he's dead like that? Ma'am, I'm very sorry to say, but your husband, Victor Méjean, was found dead on the Martinez boardwalk.
What did you say?
A great and terrible spike. The blood freezes in her veins.
Your husband, Victor Méjean, is dead. I'm very sorry for your loss, ma'am.
Oh.
She touches her neck, eyes pale like pearls in seawater.
Oh. But he was just...
She looks at the kitchen table where 2 cigarette butts are still in the tray.
But he was just here. Alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, ma'am.
What happened to him?
She turns to you. Her neck and cheeks are covered with red blotches. Her double chin is shaking. It's still early to say, but at first glance, it seems like he slipped and hit his head. It was an accident. He fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head. I mean, these are both kind of the same. This one makes it seem like we're gonna investigate further. But then this one emphasizes that it's an accident.
Was he drunk?
Alcohol may have played a role, yes. We don't know yet, but we will let you know when the results arrive. It may have played a role.
I see. And you just found him there, lying in the cold. How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever.
It's hard to say at this point. It couldn't have been long. Okay, so here you're trying to spare their feeling, but also you can't really lie about these things, right? It's kind of better to just say the truth. It would make her feel a little bit better maybe, but she might find the truth later, so it's hard to say at this point.
She blinks, eyes welling up with tears. as her hand starts searching for something from the pockets of her dress. The handkerchief.
Here, take this. Give her the lieutenant's handkerchief. No words, just give her the handkerchief. Don't give her the handkerchief. It's too special. I mean, it is special. Kim gave it to me. I love how the game... I hate how the game knows how much you're gonna like Kim. Because, like, they did such a great job of making Kim super likable. And it's like, the game knows it. And they keep poking fun at you for it. Like, they know you love Kim. And I do. It's like, oh, it's too special. Just give her the handkerchief, man. She needs it right now.
A small, terrified smile quivers on her face as she takes the handkerchief and wipes away the tears. She looks disoriented.
Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend, a family member, someone who could be here for you?
No. I just need to tell my girls.
Oof. The air gets sucked out of her lungs suddenly.
It burns like acid.
God. Should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
No. A day.
Yes, they should know. Do you want us to call them and ask them here? Take a day to recover. You'll be better prepared when they come home tomorrow. Yeah, that's true.
Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you.
She nods, but with a wretched expression.
Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier.
He hands her a leaflet with the morgue's contact information.
Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still...
She rubs her face, runs her fingers over her cheeks that have become numb.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if...
She runs out of breath. Again, I'm very sorry, ma'am.
We should step outside and talk.
The lieutenant nods at the woman, then looks back at you, his voice lowered. Let's set the library card by her and leave the room. Yes.
You did well.
Thanks. The lieutenant says as soon as you've left the apartment, the balcony feels cool and quiet with a stunning view over the district. What now?
I'll call the station when we're finished with the day and let them know the name of the deceased.
What about Billy and her kids?
They'll manage.
They have to. It's not your place to live their lives.
That's it?
That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty here is done.
Alright, this is closed then.
Let's go.
You look south, over the crumbling balustrade. There, 1.2 kilometers away, a piece of broken stone cuts into the sky. A tomb. On it, a mural that used to say, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away." You cannot really see the felled building from here, but somehow you feel like you should return to it.
Piece of broken stone, a tomb? Tomorrow is just a whisper away. Yeah, it's the failed building. What are you saying, game? That completing this side quest is going to help me roll to get inside the building, maybe? Interesting. Damn. This is something I never thought I would do in a video game, like having to tell someone that their husband died, like in a kind of very realistic, grounded way as a police officer. I think they did a good job of portraying it. It was very somber and sullen, and I can't imagine how difficult it must be to do that. Well, it's done. And I guess doing this might have helped us with the ruby thing somehow. Because it like strengthened our resolve, I guess. Interesting. We still need to check the island, the boardwalk. Haven't found the Sunday friend. We need to go talk to Erod again. Return to the fell mural. Consult the wind if you don't know what to do. For the figurines. Again with Everard. Oh, right, we could go and report to the cryptozoologists, I guess, before we end the episode.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is. I know you're skeptical, but I have a good feeling about this.
So I had a chat with the kid Kuno. He promises to stop stealing the locusts.
So it was just a child.
He purses his lips, crestfallen.
Thank you for telling us, sweetie. This is good news, right? It means we can try again.
It means you came to a conclusion that was completely wrong because you work from the conclusion backward.
Something is secretly gnawing at her confidence. It's not this Kuno kid or the missing locusts. It's something else.
Yeah, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need to inspect the traps one more time. And then maybe we can.
The aging cryptozoologist breaks into a hideous coughing fit.
He has a 38-degree fever. His resilience has given way.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't be out wandering in the middle of the night in the cold.
Darling, I told you to take it easy. You're getting sick. Maybe it's time to go home.
She looks at him with tender concern.
You're right. We can come back next season, when it's warmer.
He breathes carefully not to start coughing again.
There won't be a next season. Not for this. Find a phasmid or admit defeat, people.
Man, I'm really feeling this is costing me time on my main investigation. It's not worth risking your health. You should call it a day and go home. I'd offer to help, but I have my own things to do. Damn it, maybe I can still restock the trap for you? We've come too far to quit. I'm gonna restock the trap. Let's do this. Except enthusiastically. We have been working a lot on this thing, so I'll do it.
We are getting really carried away with this, aren't we? Fine, it's better than having these people get pneumonia on the coast. But after this...
He's like, this is the last time I'm entertaining you with this. He makes a show of suppressing a sigh.
Really? It's too much, officer.
He starts coughing again.
What Morel means is we're grateful for your help.
I swear if this doesn't end with you finding the fucking phasmid.
Here's a fresh batch of locusts. They should slide right down the funnel. And thank you again. We will definitely mention you, should this lead to a discovery. I'm not talking co-discovery, of course, but...
Wow. Co-discovery? You'd be famous. You'd show them all. This does tingle the pleasure center.
My name would be known.
This would show them all. We need to get you on that list of discoverers. No question about that.
Did you really just give me a bunch of locusts? You did. A cardboard box with several rows of little holes in the lid. Though at first glance the box seems perfectly ordinary, upon closer examination it's obvious that it has been prepared with great care. I wonder if I can just go and give them to Kuno. Probably, but... Well, while you guys have just been sitting in this fucking hotel for days. Meanwhile, I've been solving multiple cases. I just had to tell a wife about her dead husband. Could have used you guys on that, but no, you've just been sitting here doing nothing. So now we need to refill the traps. The trick is to remember which one it was. Oh boy, which one was it? Can't quite remember. But I'll find it. Well then, that's going to be it for today. This was kind of like a mellow episode today, you know? Not as hardcore to the mega as the previous ones we've done, but just kind of following up on a bunch of threads. A quiet, somber moment with Billy Méjean. And you know, we're just slowly taking care of all my remaining side quests before we continue with the main Ruby thing, which I might do in the next episode because we don't have that much left to do. I'll probably go back and talk to Everard next, and then we'll follow up on the Ruby thing. So yeah, a bit of a slower episode today, but I still enjoyed it, so hope you guys did as well. With all that being said, it is time for me to bid you farewell. So until next time, I had fun playing this, I hope you had fun watching it, and I'll see you in the next episode for some more Disco Elysium. See y'all.